Barcelona and Real Madrid have a long rivalry between them. Except from competing for titles, the two Spanish clubs have been rivals in other aspects, including political and social reasons. In terms of titles, Real Madrid has won La Liga 33 times, the Copa del Rey 19 times, the Champions League 13 times and the UEFA Cup twice. Barcelona has won La Liga 26 times, the Copa del Rey 30 times, the Champions League 5 times and the Cup Winners' Cup 4 times. The game between them is considered as one of the greatest sporting events worldwide and draws massive attention of football fans. Since their early days, the clubs were competing for the Copa del Rey, but their rivalry was not as intense as it is today. In fact, the most successful team of the Spanish Cup until 1930 was Athletic Club. La Liga was formed in 1929 with Barcelona winning the inaugural campaign after Real Madrid lost against Athletic Club on the last day. The real rivalry started during the 1930s when Barcelona developed the ideas of the Catalan identity. Real Madrid was more towards the Spanish ideals. During Franco's coup d'état against the democratic Second Spanish Republic in 1936, the president of Barcelona Josep Sunyer was arrested and executed without trial. Real Madrid's president Rafael Sánchez Guerra was also arrested but managed to escape in France. An encounter which fueled the rivalry was the semi-final of the Spanish Cup in 1943. By that time Athletic Club was way more successful than both and they both wanted to at least reach the final. Barcelona won the first leg at home 3-0. Real Madrid had complained for the referee decisions in all 3 goals. The atmosphere was hostile for Los Blancos as well. For the second leg, Barcelona's bus was attacked before the game. The field was full of coins and stones and the atmosphere was in general very hostile for the Catalans. There were also rumors that the chief of security had even visited the dressing room of Blaugrana, threatening the team. Real Madrid was 2-0 up after 31 minutes. The third goal came on that moment with Barcelona's defender Benito Garcia being sent off. After that, Real Madrid scored another 5 goals without any pressure before half-time. The game ended 11-1 with Los Blancos qualifying to the final. There, Athletic Club, which like Barcelona was not favored by the regime, won Real Madrid 1-0. In 1953 both Real Madrid and Barcelona were impressed by Alfredo Di Stefano, who was playing for Millonarios at that time. The Argentinian forward was playing for River Plate previously and he was supposed to return to the Buenos Aires club in 1954. Barcelona secured the transfer of Di Stefano from River Plate and moved to the Catalan city in July of 1953. Real Madrid however had bought the remaining of the player's contract from Millonarios and claimed that the player belonged to them. By September, FIFA intervened and the decision was that the player would play for Real Madrid on the first year, on the second for Barcelona and so on. Barcelona refused to accept this and let the player free. The only demand was that Real Madrid would pay River Plate the stake that the Catalans had already paid. There were rumors that the regime had interfered. Real Madrid, who had not won the league title since 1933, would go on to dominate Spain during the next years. With Di Stefano on the side, Real Madrid won the championship in 1954 and would also go on to win the first 5 versions of the European Cup. General Franco, who seemed to favor Atletico Madrid during the previous years, would show more interest to Real Madrid after the European success. Between 1954 and 1990 Real Madrid won 23 championships while Barcelona had won only 4. Los Blancos had also won the European Cup 6 times until then and the UEFA Cup twice. Barcelona had not won any and the only European success came through the Cup Winners' Cup, which was won in 3 occasions. After 1990 Barcelona formed a very strong team under Johan Cruyff and won 4 consecutive championships during 1991 and 1994 as well as the European Cup in 1992. Real Madrid would respond with championships in 1995 and 1997 as well as 2 Champions Leagues in 1998 and 2000. Barcelona had also won La Liga in 1998 and 1999 and would also win its 4th Cup Winners' Cup in 1997. During the early 2000s Valencia and La Coruña would also form very strong teams, with Valencia winning the title in 2002 and 2004 and La Coruña winning the title in 2000. Real Madrid invested heavily in players during the time, acquiring players like Roberto Carlos, McManaman, Zidane, Fico, Ronaldo, and Beckham. The results were of mixed reception as the team won La Liga in 2001 and 2003 and the Champions League in 2002. The general picture of the quality of the team, however, was suggesting for more. Barcelona had a very hard time during the early 2000s, but with the transfers of Ronaldinho, Deco, Larsen and Eto'o would win La Liga in 2005 and 2006. In 2006 the Catalans would also win the Champions League. Luis Enrique was transferred to Real Madrid in 1991 from Sporting Gijón. He stayed in Madrid until 1996, where he was a regular and won one La Liga title. In 1996, however, he did not renew his contract and joined Barcelona, where he excelled and even became captain of the team. He retired at the club in 2004 at the age of 34. In 2000, Barcelona's Luis Fico made an even more controversial move to Real Madrid. The Portuguese had signed a pre-contract with Real Madrid's candidate for president Florentino Perez for around €2 million. In case that he would break the deal, he would have to pay as compensation the amount of around €25 million. According to Barcelona's president Joan Gaspart, Fico wanted to stay, but since he had signed that deal with Perez, Barcelona had to pay the €25 million. Eventually, Barcelona received €62 million from Real Madrid for the transfer. Fico was greeted as a traitor to his first visit to Camp Nou, and the fans were throwing all kinds of objects whenever he was approaching the final lines of the pitch. Some of the objects thrown to the Portuguese star had been oranges, bottles, lighters and even mobile phones. With Fico not able to help the team at all, Barcelona went on to win the game 2-0. Ironically, the man who put Barcelona in front was Luis Enrique, who switched from Real Madrid to Barcelona 4 years earlier. In more recent years, the rivalry was fueled by the presence of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Messi came through the youth ranks of Barcelona, and Pep Guardiola had built the team around him since 2008 when he became the manager of the club. Ronaldo was transferred to Real Madrid in 2009 and became the star of the team. Both players were competing on who is the best in the world, so the El Clasico had one more battle. In July of 2018, Ronaldo was transferred to Juventus, so the rivalry between them actually stopped. 2018 was also the first year since 2008 that none of the two stars won the Ballon d'Or, as it was won by the Croatian midfielder of Real Madrid, Luka Modric. It's rare to watch a standing ovation or applaud towards a rival player during El Clasico. It happened in some occasions, however. In 1980, Laurie Cunningham of Real Madrid received applause from the fans in the Camp Nou after his magnificent performance saw his team winning 2-0. In 1983, Diego Maradona became the first Barcelona player to get a standing ovation from the crowd in Santiago Bernabéu after an amazing goal. The most memorable incident took place in November of 2005. Barcelona travelled in Madrid, aiming to increase the difference from its fierce rival to 4 points. Ronaldinho had probably the best game of his entire career, scoring 2 exceptional goals as Blaugrana won 3-0. After his second goal, which actually clinched the victory, the stands of Santiago Bernabéu applauded the Brazilian star in one of the most emotional moments of the Classico. The last player who was applauded was Andrés Iniesta. This happened quite recently. In particular, Barcelona won Real Madrid 4-0 in November of 2015. Iniesta together with Neymar and Suarez had tore the defensive line of Los Blancos apart, and when the Spanish midfielder was substituted on the 77th minute, the crowd of Santiago Bernabéu gave him a standing ovation. During the last decade, the two rivals are considered as the best clubs worldwide. Barcelona, however, dominated La Liga by winning the title 8 times during the last 11 years, while Real Madrid won the title only twice. The other title was won by Atletico Madrid. Barcelona won the Champions League 3 times during these years and in 2 occasions has completed the treble. It's Real Madrid, however, who is the most successful on this competition, as Los Blancos won the title 4 times. As far as the Copa del Rey, Barcelona has won the title 6 times while Real Madrid won it twice. We can also find the finest players in the squads of the clubs during these years, as both invested on becoming the best team in Europe. The El Clasico is one of the biggest rivalries in the history of football. The two historic clubs offer to the fans some of the most majestic moments when they get into the field. Every football fan around the world enjoys watching these two sides playing against each other, as the interest and passion always exist. Can you name any other derby which has the same or bigger significance than this one? Who do you think is the bigger or more historic of these two great sides? Tell us your opinions in the comments section below. Don't forget to like our video if you enjoy our work and subscribe to our channel for future videos. Thanks for watching.